So, Brad, tell me the most interesting second-order consequences of the conflict for Microsoft. Like, clearly, conflict happens. I assume you pulled your engineers out of Russia. Maybe you took your servers off of maybe servers on Russia's coast. I don't know how. What did you do first, and what are you going to do second?
Well, I think the thing that we've done first is, frankly, to support and defend Ukraine.
Yeah.
The first thing we had to do was help the Ukrainian government move into the cloud. Before this war began, the Ukrainian government ran entirely on its own digital infrastructure, on its own servers, in its own government buildings. And people recognized something that, frankly, was always there, but no one was talking about. If your servers are in government buildings, they can be destroyed by cruise missiles. So wait,
are you serious? At the start of the war, all their servers were in a building?
Up until the war began, not just one building, but in government buildings until shortly before. But we've literally worked with the Ukrainian government to move 16 of the 17 Ukrainian ministries into the cloud, into our cloud and data centers across Europe. So the first thing that it causes one to reflect upon is sort of, frankly, a classic military development. You've got to disperse your defensive assets so they're not vulnerable to a single attack. And in the world today, governments run on digital technology. They have to be able to sustain them. And the best and perhaps only way to do that is to disperse government technology assets into the public cloud and into data centers. The second thing we've had to do is frankly defend Ukraine against cyber attacks. I think that there's a misunderstanding oftentimes when people say, oh, the Russians haven't really brought their A-team to the cyber war. They absolutely have. They've just concentrated all of their assets on Ukraine itself. So they haven't engaged in cyber attacks on, say, the rest of Europe or on other NATO countries. I think there's a misunderstanding. People think the war began on February the 24th. No, it began on February the 23rd. That's when we saw 300 Russian coordinated cyber attacks all seek to take down the Ukrainian government and Ukrainian banks. And the striking thing about cyberspace is it doesn't know the same territorial borders of land or sea or the air. So where were the first cyber attacks seen? They weren't in Ukraine. We saw them in Seattle, Washington, in our data centers because we were working with the Ukrainian government. And then the last thing I will say is, so far in this war, defense has proven to be stronger in offense. Frankly, in almost every category, but especially when it comes to cyberspace. And it's, I think, a real testament to the amount of innovation in cybersecurity protection, collaboration over the last 5 years, really since the NotPetya attack on Ukraine. So I'm not sure that those are second-order effects. We're still all in first-order effects, but the nature of war itself has changed.